And you
That's
just
it.
get back.
They hold it. They hold it. But this is it says Deuteronomy chapter 7. Verse 22. And the Lord thy God will put out those nations before thee by little and little. Okay? Thou mayest not consume them at once. These the beasts of the field increase upon the vultures, man. When you kill bare people, you'll see like the vultures will blow out the sky, man. You know, so you don't want all the vultures and all the beasts in the field upon you, man. Because you kill all the dead bodies. So by and by, the Lord will take out these nations. But the Lord thy God shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. And he shall deliver their kings into thy hand, and thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven. There shall no man be able to stand before thee until thou have destroyed them. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to Yahweh thy God. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. Right, but if you check the heathens, when they conquered the kings of Chedorlaomer, and the king of Elam, when he conquered the Sodomite kings, man, the faggots, man, he took their gold, he took everything, their food. But now, if that was us, there's a commandment that women will burn everything they got, man, their idols, their gold, everything, man. It's cursed, man. It's cursed, right? But the heathens, all sides not dealing with them. The scripture says, I show them my word to Jacob, man. You know, so the heathens, they don't know the word of the Most High, so they're just going to go in there and do whatever was carnally pleasurable to them, man.
That's why they like to us.
You know what I'm saying? If they see a golden idol, if it looks nice, they'll take it. You know what I'm saying? And they'll mold it in fashion to how they see it. You know what I'm saying? If they see a nice woman, she even pop out kind of men, they'll take that woman to be their wife and shit. They'll just do whatever they want, man. But us, there's certain laws that we go by. When we conquer a nation, we don't just do whatever they don't want to do with the things that are left over. You know what I'm saying? If a woman is over a certain age and she's already been put by certain men, you put her to death, man. Straight up and down. You know? And if you see that gold and there's all idols and shit, you burn that shit, man. You don't take nothing, you burn everything, man. And you don't take none of it. You know, so the Most High truly done dealt with his people favorably, you know, by giving them guidelines to keep them safe, man, away from harm, away from diseases, away from no curses and bad vibrations and spirits, man. You know?
That's back to Genesis 14 and 11. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their victuals and went their way. And they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom. Genesis. And they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Anna, and these were confederate with Abraham. And there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Anna, and these were confederate with Abraham.
You hear that? So basically Abraham said Abraham the Hebrew. By that time he wasn't called Abraham.
He was actually, so during that time, that was when the term Hebrew came about Abraham. So he was first Hebrew of them all.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the first Hebrew.
Right. It was Hebrew. I bought.
Right. Which is a long time before Abraham. And Abraham meaning father of Abraham. Old father of
You mean
Abraham. Abraham is father of nations. Abraham is father of Zote. Okay? But then he became Abraham, which means Abba meaning a father, and then nations, father of nations. Yeah?
I mean, you could say Abba Yam. It's really Abraham. It's the youngest of all.
And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan.
So basically, Abraham had servants, man. You know what I'm saying? You had trained servants. Because back then, you had to train the men in your house how to fight, man. You know what I'm saying? You had weapons. Not like now. Nowadays, man, it's illegal to even have to walk around with a pocket blade, man. So say if a man rolls upon you, what are you going to do? You can stay and get knifed up, man. You ain't got nothing to protect yourself, man. They're showing you that the rules that the so-called white man goes by, there's nothing humane about it, man. In the ancient world, you had to know how to fight. You had to know how to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure you kids understand. It's like when you go to these school systems. You know, when you go to these different school programs, they're set up to just program you, and condition you. You start recording. Yeah, it's like these school systems, man, in this society. I mean, they'll just gather all of these kids and stuff like that. They're really just to program them, just to condition them mentally. Okay, but really, what they're supposed to do is to train these kids up to know how to defend themselves. Because that's what they did in like the brothers going into right now. That's what we did in the ancient world. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna just say this, man. You know, because this society here, like for example, let's say something happens, right? You gotta call 999. Okay, they're gonna, if you defend yourself, they're gonna rush you to defend yourself. Showing how much of a feminized fact of this society such as that this is.
A little faggot, man. A little southern, that's how this place is spiritual. That's how you know them faggots back then in the ancient world, Sodom and Gomorrah, they were real faggots, man. This place, it's the thing that's being is the thing that's falling, man. So that same spirit that was back there is here again, man. You can't even defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? How the hell you going to defend yourself as a man? Society condemns. Scripture says the day of his own house. It literally means he has a big house and all the 300 men inside the house. It didn't mean that, man. It meant basically
Just one more thing I want to say as well, because back, like also when Israel was established, like for example, like when Moses had the laws, right? When the laws were given to us, so the people of Israel acted on those laws. They didn't have to call such and such to act those laws. They were the people of the communities were actually the law enforcers, so to speak. And see, in this society, okay, you gotta call such and such to enforce law. It really should be the people dealing with the community matters, so to speak, man. You know what I mean? What's that, brother? And the priests and Levites.
Levites, they didn't have an inheritance. They didn't have like an inheritance among the tribes. They lived among the tribes. Because if any matter concerning the breaking of the law or whatever, the sacrifice, the people, the tribes, they went to the Levites. And they deal with their whole situation. They were the judges. You know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't have judges among Gadites, you didn't have judges among Reubenites. The judges were the Levites. You know what I'm saying? And they're the ones that had the communication with the Most High. They're the ones that the Most High dealt with the Levites.
But on certain laws, though, I mean, like for example, if you saw a man that was, you know, hey man, like committing sodomy, then you would enact that law. You saw it. But if there's a law, because there's certain laws that you can't just judge it now. You gotta take it before the priest, like you're saying, because there's a process on how you judge, you know, a situation, because the matter could be way out there. You know, so
that situation where a man took a woman to his tent, one of the brothers from one of the tribes took a javelin and thrust both of them in the tent. He enforced the law like that. Where we same house, but this meant that y'all were with him, like, you know what I'm saying?
Second Samuel 1:18. Also he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Joshua.
So you gotta teach them the art of war, man. Because back then, man, you didn't have no damn mobile phone, no police, no speed dial. Oh, please call me, someone's attacking me, someone's trying to take my goods. You know how they were probably miles away, man. So how the hell would you defend yourself? You had to have the sword, you had to have the weapon, you had to know some form of self-defense. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You couldn't phone an ambulance. You had to know how to fix yourself up, how to do your own use, to use natural like food and stuff like honey to heal wounds, you know, use fire to try to seal up a wound. You couldn't phone an ambulance, man. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have a first aid kit. You know, bandages and shit. You had to rip the material and wrap it around, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to clean the wound first with water. You know, Esau learns how to do that in the wilderness, man. When he takes his children out to the wilderness, they do the camp outs and shit. They know how to make fire and shit like that. You know, living ancient, man. You know, you got certain men in the world right now, they don't live according to technology, man. They still maintain the same ancient ways, man. Like the Arabs, man, the Ishmaelites, but a lot of them Arabic nations, man, the Syrians, the Ishmaelites, they still live that nomad way, man, the mountain ancient ways, man. They'll run up on the goat, no gun, but they'll run up with a knife, man, and steal his throat. Right, you know? They'll eat the goat, they'll use the skin of the goat for clothes, you know? Or for a carpet or something like that. They still honor them ancient ways, man. You know, because they see that this modern day, this softens you up, man. It makes you complacent, man. You know what I'm saying? It makes you like a woman, more comfortable and shit.
The women get married as well. They still have the white cloth. When the man, when he lays the bride, you see that black, the parents people. I think it's in our law as well.
And it's in the law, yeah.
In our law, yeah. The Arabs still do that now.
It's ultimately like, when you look at the Arabs and stuff, where did they get the customs from? They ultimately got it from us. So we was enacting those laws.
But they all got that from the Quran. The Quran was accumulated by Israelites in the Roman Catholic churches. Okay? So the Arabs and Arabic itself, that's broken Hebrew. because if you notice, not to go off the point, because the whole point is our history, but now you got certain Jakes that walk on road and they say, hey, yeah, I was rolling with some Aki. They use the word Aki. Now, I remember how you're thinking, did he say Ak? And he said Aki, which is basically, that's the Islamic way of saying Ak.
That's Hebrew.
But that's Hebrew, that's Ak. But they say Aki. You know what I'm saying? So this, but they don't realize that what they're saying is Hebrew.
It's all broken down.
You know, they don't realize that they're saying Ak, you know, which means brother.
Abu.
No?
Which we say Abba. They say Abu.
Exactly. So pretty much these Arabs, these Ishmaelites, you know what I'm saying, these Muslims, should I say, they get their ways from us, man, from the Hebrews, man. The Hebrew way. Jacob is the former of all things, man. And really Ishmael was a Hebrew himself. Because his father was Abraham. He was a Hebrew. Okay? And so Yashma'ala or Ishmael, he was a Hebrew. His 12 sons were Hebrew. But they were the Hebrew Ishmaelites. Okay? Because the Israelites were not the only Hebrews. You had the Hebrew Edomites. Okay? You had the 6 sons of Keturah. They were also Hebrews. Okay? You have other nations that are also Hebrews, man, whose origins go back to the Hebrew way, man. Even them damn Canaanites, man, even though they wasn't Hebrews, they wasn't of the Hebrew family, they still spoke Hebrew, man. Okay? You go to the Phoenician dialects, man, of Tyre and Zidon, and you look at the alphabet, you know, the language that they were speaking predominantly in those areas, it was Hebrew, man. You go into the Phoenician language, man, and you compare it to the ancient, the Paleo-Hebrew, it's exactly the same, man. Exactly the same phonetics, man, being used in the language, man. Okay?
So Romans 9 and 7. So Romans 9 and 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Yeah, exactly, because we read that verse again soon, so read that verse.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all the children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Exactly, because Christians try to jump up and say, oh, yeah, but it's through Abraham we're all blessed. Yeah, all nations received blessings, but only one nation received the promise. The scripture says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all the children. It's through one seed, which is through Isaac, man. It passed down unto Jacob, and unto his 12 sons, man. Okay? So it was a special lineage, a special seed that the Most High was dealing with, man. He wasn't dealing with all the seeds that came forth from Abraham's loins. He was dealing with Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Okay?
And the reason why that was is because there was a covenant. There was a covenant that was established. And this is why a lot of people, you know, they'll come up there, and a lot of these people are Christians too. And they'll come up and they'll get mad at us and they'll say, well, how can you just say that the Israelites are only to be saved? How does the salvation just revolve around them? Well, you gotta go back to history. You gotta go all the way back to the covenant. Who is the covenant established by? Between the Most High and Isaac all the way down to Jacob. So those are under the covenant, those are gonna be the people that's gonna receive salvation. That's where you get the circumcision thing from. Going back to the covenant. Okay, so hey, that's just the bottom line, man. You know, there's no other way around it. At the end of the day, right? What we're saying is of the scriptures, man. And if you don't agree with what we're saying, then that's on you. Matter of fact, brother, give me Romans 3 and what is it? 3 and 3. The water out. Come on. And that's the bottom line, because what's going on right now, you know, in this society here, or in all societies. As a matter of fact, this room you got, brother. So I don't go into something else.
I think from the top we're back to up. I think from the top we're back to up.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
So Romans 3:3. What advantage have the Jew, or what profit is there of the circumcision?
Right. Yeah, go on.
Much very way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Most High.
Yeah, because unto them was committed the oracles of the Most High. So what's the oracles of the Most High? Anything that's involving the things of the Most High, which is His Bible, and also the covenant as well. So because of the oracle, because of the matter of fact, brother, look at the word oracle. Okay, the laws. So who were the laws given? The water. Who were the laws given to? The laws were given to our people. So when we say, according to the Bible, such and such is going to receive salvation, we back it up. Okay? That's why we call ourselves the Hebrews. You're not going to have us standing out here calling ourselves the Black Panthers. Okay? Or calling ourselves, you know, the Black Stone Rangers or any form of black group. You're not going to hear us say that. We're going to call ourselves the Hebrew Israelites. Why? Because the Hebrew Israelites is us. That's who the hell we are. We ain't no so-called Black British, so-called African American. If you ask us what's my nationality, I'm going to tell you I'm a child of Israel, of the tribe of Judah. Okay, and brothers are going to say the same thing. Okay, go on, brother.
For what if some did not believe?
Right. So what if you don't believe in what we're saying? What if you just walk past by and say, "Oh, these Negroes is talking a load of rubbish"? Hey, that's on you. But guess what? The truth is still going to stand. That we're the people of the Heavenly Father. We're the people of the Most High. Okay, that's just the deal right there. You can promote us as being gangsters and rappers all you want on your television. It's still not going to negate the truth on who we truly are. Go on, brother.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
Go on.
God forbid.
Hell no. So does it mean that the Lord is going to withdraw His practices in His word because you don't want to believe what we're saying? Nah. The Lord is still going to continue His word and fulfill His covenant. And that being said, the fulfillment of the covenant is that we're going to be saved under only the nation of Israel. No other nation. If you're not an Israelite, you ain't making it. That's just point blank period. You ain't getting a piece of the kingdom, man. Okay, we didn't get a piece of this society, so what the hell makes you think that you're going to get a piece of the pie in the kingdom, man? Come on now. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay, the only piece you're going to get is the crumbs, man. All right? Because at the end of the day, right, these so-called Europeans are in other nations as well. A lot of you are going to be under us, man. A lot of you are going to be under us. And you can't, and there's nothing you can do about that. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You come around here and say, well, I'm for humanity and I believe in equality of all nations when the society doesn't even deal with equality. If you thoroughly look at it, in all societies that deal with equality. So the same thing is going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is going to be established on earth, and that's going to be what it's going to be, man. We're going to be the heads of that civilization. That's the bottom line, man. That's just what it is. Anybody got a precept or something? Yeah. 4:30. No. Go on.
So Genesis 14 and 14. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan.
They all had swords and spears, cutlass. You know what I'm saying? Cutlass is bigger than fucking Big Ben, man.
Yeah, this big too.
And then he armed all 300 plus of his servants, man. You know, they all knew how to fight. They were probably like the Spartans, man. Because the Spartans was like 300. So that's the Spartans right there.
Yeah, that's the Spartans right there.
That's the Spartans right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Spartans. You know, Abraham's like, yeah, Abraham's like, was like, Spartans, prepare for battle. You know what You know what I'm saying? And then he had them shields, man. You know, and then just like that movie, 300, when you saw all them side niggas, man, running. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And the school, in that narrow, that passage, man. All that. And you killed bare of them, man. That was probably your Abraham. That was, you know, King Leonidas. That was probably Abraham, man. Even Michael, man.
David too. David was a warrior too.
Yeah.
The house.
You talk the word house, because it said they the 300 servants in his house.
Yeah, the Hebrew word is bayah, which means house, dwelling, habitation, shelter or abode of animals. House containing a family, home house as containing a family, or household of family.
So pretty much that they of his own house, like his people. That's basically what he's saying. Okay, you know.
And he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus.
So they probably did guerrilla warfare, man. He said he tried to put them like a thief in the night, just like in our time. When it was night time, you know, then that's when he did a sneak attack on them. You know, Abraham did a sneak attack on the East Indians, man, on the Elamites, and he smoked them. So that was a mighty victory, man. Okay? And he fucked them all up, man.
And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him, and the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High Power. And he blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abraham, the Most High Power, possessor of the heaven and earth."
Right. So basically, Abraham slew all the kings on the East Indians, man. Okay, and all the kings that were with him, man. And he did it back during the night. That shows that Abraham was a warrior, man. You weren't some spiritual guy, you know what I'm saying, that believed in God. You know, he was also a warrior, man. You know what I'm saying?
In the movies, they show Abraham is like an old, dusty guy walking around the field. You see the movie, just walking in the desert somewhere, covered in dust.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you weren't no warrior, man.
Old and weak.
And he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Frail and shit. No, he was a warrior, man. Meaning he had a hard body, he was tough, he was strong, man. You know what I'm saying? He had the energy, because to be on the battlefield, you have energy, man. You're killing all the men. And with only a handful of men as well.
We've done with our 3, 4, 5 things.
Exactly. There's 4 or 5 kings and 300. And that's a bad. Abraham was a bad man, man. He was bad. And the soldiers that were with him were bad too. Because obviously Abraham not going to be training up some, he's not fighting alongside some little pussies, man. They're going to have to be tough as well. Okay? So that's some of our history, man. When that little Jew, that little devil came up, called himself a Jew, you know what I'm saying? You laugh at that, man. laugh at that shit.
That's not even credible.
You're not a Jew. You're a weak self, man. When you look at the West Africans, when you look at the Nigerians and the people of Ghana, I mean, the scriptures say over time, naturally, as things progress over time, you get weaker. Mankind gets weaker through the ages. But if you look at the West Africans, they still look strong. They still have that strength, that sturdiness to them. That shows you that's like a glimpse of how our ancestors were. You know? When I went over to West Africa, you know what I'm saying? They're a mighty people. There's something truly mysterious about our people. When you look at our people, we're not like these other races. There's something deeply mysterious about us, man. You know? We're not like these East Indians and these Chinese people. You look at these Chinese and think, man, there ain't nothing special about it. You know? You act like you're so dope with your technology, your modern day, your graphics and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Your new brand new cars. Thinking that don't mean nothing, man. Scripture says, why did the heathen rage, man? He was a man of vain things. Get that, man. You know, that's all it's trying to say.
So Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Exactly, because that got a rat that came up. He opened his mouth and he said some bullshit. Come like that. You know just saying to Abraham, and if you are, then Abraham's going to be ashamed.
Well, really, they are to a certain degree. They are, but the thing about Esau, man, he was made because it tells you in Genesis 25 that he was going to be stronger than you.
Yeah, so it says that the one shall be stronger than the other. Yeah, it says that.
And that's why the Most High blessed Esau with the sword, because that was his only defense.
That's his only form of aggression. Because Esau hates himself, man, so naturally he takes his hatred out on other races of people. He's like the typical school bully. You know, the bully, he bullies other people in school because he knows that he's the one that ain't shit. You know, so he takes out his aggression on people who deep down he knows is better than him. You know? The only way that Esau feels like he's on top or he feels like he's somebody is when he's killing them. So that's how he gets off, man. That's how he feels like he's somebody. When he has that power. You know, when he kills somebody, you feel like he's got that edge over them. You know, you victimize somebody, you feel like you're the one holding the power. That's what Esau and so-called white woman's all about, man.
And that's why they like to go over there into the wild and kill like wild exotic animals too, like a lion and stuff like that, because it makes them feel like they're strong. You know?
Because the white man knows he ain't shit, man. He knows that he's rejected, man. He knows in their spirit they've been rejected. You know, their lack of melanin. You know what I'm saying? They look like dogs, they smell like dogs, man. They naturally feel rejected. So the only thing that makes them feel like somebody is when they go around killing people, man, or killing nature. It makes them feel like they're God or something like that. But all you heathens are imagining vain things, man. No, you thinking that you're over us. That's the biggest vain thing, man. You think you're over us, man. No, you think you look down on us and you think you're over us and you're looking forward to the future and what future things that your people are going to be doing in the future, what great things you're going to be designing, you know. It's all vain, man. Because none of your plans is going to stop prophecy, man. It's going to hinder the words of Yahweh and Yahshua, man. Okay, let's go ahead.
Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
They're all raging, man. They're all sharpening up their nuclear missiles.
The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh
And that's what you're doing, man.
and against his...
Because none of you are looking forward to the prophecies to take place, man. You're all trying to do your own thing. So pretty much you're adverse to the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Okay? And the Most High's intention is to set up his people over all of y'all, man. Okay? But all of you, you're being saying, no, we don't have the niggas to be over us. We're going to be over them. Okay? All of you have been setting yourselves in a array taking counsel against the Most High, man. Okay? It tells you that in, I believe, in Psalms 83. All you nations get together to take a crafty counsel. You know, how to put out our names for remembrance. You don't have to get that, man.
The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together.
Meaning the rulers you get together, man. The scripture says that the rulers of you nations you get together, man. Go ahead.
Against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and Yahweh shall have them in derision.
See, because you heathens, you think you're something, man. You want to prove that you're somebody. You don't realize that the Most High made you for a reason, to be servants to his children, man, which is the Israelites, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
You know how the Lord's going to do that when he comes back the second time, man? The scripture says he will not meet thee as a man. He's going to come back in spaceships, man, to make war with the armies of the other nations, man. But that's how he's going to displease you. Read that verse again.
Verse 5. Then shall we speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
The Lord Yahweh Shai is going to speak to you, nations, man. Through them lasers, man. You want to know to answer you. You know, it'll be zapping you, man. You are the nations, your military is going to get zapped, man. Okay, your mighty men are going to fall down, man. When you meet Yahweh Shai. And he's going to appear in the sky. The scripture says he's going to plead the cause for his people, man. Because you other nations, you're trying to fight against his people. I feel that, man. When I walk in the streets of London, I see other nations. You trying to break loose from us, man. You trying to make out that you're better than us, man. You know what I'm trying to say? When I walk through the streets, I see you so-called white people, man. Especially you foreign so-called white people. You come over here and you think you're better than black people, man. You think you're better, so you think you're better than Israel, the so-called blacks. Showing you right there that you're trying to break the bands, man, because you know that really we're over you. Go ahead.
Yet I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day I have begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
That's what we want, man. We want you other nations to be our servants, man. That's your rightful position. You, your children, okay? Your women, your young men, your sons are meant to be our servants, man. You understand? Chinese, you're all meant to be our servants. Scripture said, ask of me and I shall give you the kingdom for that inheritance.
Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
I hear that. That don't sound like love to me, like we're all equal. There's no equality in that, man. There's no love and acceptance and tolerance of all nations in that. That's one nation preying on other nations, man. That's racism right there. You want to talk about, oh, you're racist, that means you're condemning the Bible, because the Bible's racist, man. Ready? The Bible is only for a specific people. It's not about all people getting together. You know what I'm saying? So the Bible is adverse to the will of you so-called white people. It speaks out against you. And you speak out against the Bible, against the Lord, man. The scripture says, we will dash you to pieces, man. So that's violence right there. You know, that's segregation. That's separatism. That's separating one race of people from other races. You know what I'm saying? That's superiority and inferiority among races, man. That's setting the platform right there. Okay? You should give the heathens your inheritance, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling.
You're not going to do that. You're not going to be wise and do that. You know that you're an Edomite.
He doesn't know what to do.
We're the Israelites. When you read the Bible, you read about the Jews. The real Jews are black. The real ones. Jews accept the blacks. When you read the Bible, Jews are black. That's right, everybody was black to start with.
But that don't mean everybody's a Jew.
Right. Thank God. So the people in Israel today, they're not real Jews. They call themselves Israelis or Jewish. The Israelites is us. We're the Israelites. And we're not African. The people of West Africa are not Africans. Nigeria or Ghana.
Also, the black people in the Western Hemisphere too are particular state. We're not no so-called Israelites.
We're not Africans. We're Israelites. So if you look at the people of West Africa, they keep a custom of circumcision. They circumcise their sons on the 8th day. And that's all Hebrew custom. So we're Hebrew Israelites. People of West Africa, predominantly. Okay, we're not Africans. You've got, in the continent of Africa, you've got people of Sudan, you've got the Ethiopians, okay, you've got the West Africans, but they're not all the same. They're different. People of West Africa are different from the people of East Africa. You know? So,
a lot of black people, they talk to themselves as Africans, but in actual fact, Africa is Morocco in the north to South Africa in the south. I mean, it's a whole, I don't know how many countries, but it's a large place. I mean, it's like saying that Brits are the same as Belgians
you have to understand that people in West Africa, they migrated from this thing. So you know the history of, you know how they got there.
Really, the Israelites, they migrated to West Africa. That's just, I don't think, in this Western Hemisphere, right? You know, because I was raised in America and brothers was raised there too, you know, so we were taught, pass me that on the slavery side real quick. As we were taught, where's the other slavery side? You can show that one too. Because I just want to just make this quite clear, man, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, pretty much, you know, we're not just saying we're the Jews because, you know, we feel like saying we're the Jews. We're saying it because we can back it up now. I want to do one thing first. Now, in this Western Hemisphere that we was growing up in, we was all brought up in, okay, the so-called white man, the history that he will teach in the school systems is he will teach that as far as the history goes beyond our people, is that we go back to Africa, and that's it. Okay, well, when you really read the scriptures, okay, and when you go into other forms of history, even dealing with Europe, where we're at right now, we used to read this area. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. But the schools don't teach that. They teach that you were just a bunch of slaves or whatever. That's what they teach you. But our history goes beyond that, pretty much. And when you read the Bible actually prophesies that we would go into slavery under our enemies. That's another thing too that we're going to go into. And when you look at the map, the West African map, okay, I think this is around a couple of centuries back, right? It's an ancient map, and when you look at the map, this is in West Africa, by the way. This is Fort Cheetah. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's an area around the shoulder.
And that's the slave coast, that Ivory Coast.
That's it right there. The Fort Cheetah. That's what I wanted to go for right there. Kingdom of Judah. So that was the fort that was there at that present time. Why was it called Fort Judah if we're just Africans? Because like the brother was going into, matter of fact, give me the apple on the tip up too. About Kushan. What's that? And also, yeah, as well as, but we're also the people of the Bible too. I'm gonna show you.
There's lots of papers saying.
Yeah, if we go into the street.
Like between the sheep came from Zimbabwe,
Because what I want to show you is how the West Africans, let's call themselves. It's okay we don't believe in it. You're not supposed to believe in the Bible, by the way, which I'll get into that later on too. If you have the topic, the thing about it is that, okay, the history of the so-called black man on the Western Hemisphere goes way beyond just being a damn slave on cargo slave ships. We're going to go into that right now. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to deal with West Africa. How did we get to West Africa? We're going to show you right now. He wasn't always there. He was in Jerusalem. Okay, what happened is the Romans went into the land and besieged Jerusalem in 70 AD. It's 84. So what happened was he was besieged out of the land as prophesied of whom the world called Jesus Christ. No, listen, let me finish my point. So what happened is when the world called Jesus Christ said, flee into the mountains, what that really represented is that we was going to flee into many different other nations or many different countries around that region that were close. You're going.
Since 70 AD, this is the Romans when they went to Jerusalem. They took the menorah out, showing that Jews are a real people. This is historical. This is facts. This is made up.
So you think people are Jewish?
We're not Jewish. We're Jews. The word Jews.
When people say I'm a Jew, they're saying like Judah, or short for Judah, right? But we're trying to say that the people that the Romans conquered in 70 AD were dark-skinned people. When they're basically us.
But you know what though, brother, I want to deal with the fact. I want to deal with the fact of why we went into West Africa. You know what I mean? But that's a big one too. Because when you go into the history, alright, take care. Right.
Also brothers, I mean brothers and Jews.
Well, hey, it'll be out there.
I know where you are. God bless you.
That is from a book of Babylon to the book 2, page 84. And during the period of conflict with Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecutions and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
Right.
This is like before Israel.
No. This is
No, before they wanted to give Central Africa
No.
to the Jews.
No. Read that again. There's no giving.
no.
There was no giving. What happened
No,
is,
we want.
no, listen.
we
The
want
Romans ransacked
Are you a
Jews.
Jew?
No, or nothing.
Okay, then, well, hey, you just gotta just say this, man. If you don't agree with what we're saying, then hey,
No,
let's
no,
go.
I don't.
What I'm saying to you, basically, what statement you said that Jews were given this. Are you?
No, we offer the West of Central Africa, Central North America. They said it was like your brothers say. There was loads of words and villages that came out of the ancient Bible, the Old Testament.
No, but what I'm saying, my
and they
man.
proved
What time
they
period?
proved that your people were there thousands of years before Jesus. And it's part of what you're saying, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, we can agree. That's calm. That's all right. But what I'm saying is, what I'm proving is how do we become scattered? Is where I'm going.
During the period of Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled to
They
Africa,
fled into Africa,
fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
from Roman persecution and slavery.
In Israel.
The slave markets
fled
were
out of Israel.
the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
And you know what's funny about it, right? Because pretty much when we go into this history, right? Like guys, I'm not making fun of you, but guys that are our age, they don't really give a damn about history. You know what I mean? They're so in tune with what's going on today. But you guys are in tune with the history. You know, you have that connection with the history. You're interested in it. You know, because the thing about it is the reason why I'm a bit kind of like perked up, because I'm passionate as well. But the thing about it is that in this civilization in the West, we've been told that pretty much like when you watch TV, right? What they'll do is they'll program all of us to think that this nation is in this box and that nation is in that box. So if you're so-called black in the Western Hemisphere, you're not but a thug or a gangster or whatever bullshit, right? So that's what they'll control the TV. But see, you notice something, they won't put us on TV. You know why they won't put us on TV?
Which tribe are you from?
I'm from the tribe of Judah, but I want to make a point. The reason why they're not going to put us on TV because it's going to denounce their whole media network. You see what I'm saying? But really, what conveying here is that we're the children of God.
Do you not agree with what Israel is about?
Well, you mean the modern day Israel today?
Yeah.
You know, we don't agree because those people over there are not even Jews, like the brother just went into. Because the real Jews are so-called black people, as we all can agree on that.
It's not, we weren't all black.
But yeah,
There was a couple great people as well, wasn't there?
well, I'll say this.
No, I agree with you that a lot were black people.
They were all black.
They were all black.
These people,
I'll do it, brother. I'll do it. At the end of the day, right? Now you can keep that. I don't care about that, right? At the end of the day, the so-called the Jews, okay, were a dark nation of people. Because the thing with the Jews or the kingdom of Judah goes back to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's the southern kingdom. And then you got the northern kingdom, okay, which were not actually black, but are Latino, okay. Well, really, all of them were dark skinned, really. All of them were dark skinned. You get me what is it, man? Give me Job 30 and 30. Give me any scripture really with the whole black thing.
What are you trying to?
And we know who you guys are too. We don't just know who we are, but we also know who you guys are
Yeah,
too.
we will come from Africa.
You know you have to.
No, everybody came from Africa.
Yeah, I know. But she's right. But yeah, he's strong on that. You know, he's right about that. How you all came from black people, that's true. But what you gotta understand is even a so-called white man comes from the Middle East, from the south border of Jerusalem. So you guys we're all from the Middle East. Okay? So all of that, and the reason why they say that we all came from Africa, landmass, because you know certain people like that, scientists and people like that, what they really want to do is denounce the Bible because they know that the Bible has a lot of validity. Because people say well the Bible is a book based on shenanigans. But if the Bible no, we do agree with the Bible. What I'm saying is the media or the people that know about the history, they want to basically demonize the Bible because they want to keep people astray from the truth. Because the Bible is the manuscript of the universe. If you want to dominate the earth in a certain way, you have to go by the manuscript. That's the bottom line. So when you go contrary to that,
Hang on, this gentleman wants to speak.
My point of view, that science is right. So far, as far from that, science is right. It's about that. I mean, otherwise, if you're talking about,
there's some truth to science.
no recognizing that you had
That's not true.
Come on now, how did you figure that out? And I say, so how did you find
So
out?
where did you discover
How did you figure that out?
That could be recency.
You could have made the art.
So they went to make. Oh, you're being silly now.
No. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain. He can go. I'm going to explain why. Even he has to go now. I'm going to say this. No, I'm going to explain this. Let me do it this point, right? You can say that on me, so that's fine. Now, they say.
I agree with a lot of what you said before.
Okay, no, but let's. I'm going to disagree with right now, right? Now, the reason why I'm told him that what he's saying is rubbish is because pretty much, okay, like the scientists, they say that the Earth is 25 million years old, but then they change the numbers. They will say it's a billion years old, or they will say it's 25. So they can't come with a definite number of the Earth. So that's why.
What's your point of view? Come on, we've heard him. Come on, hang on. You two, what?
We all agree the same thing.
No.
Because the scientists, they'll give you an exact age how old the Earth is.
Are they going to give you no example?
How did they figure that out? That it's 2,500 years old. How do you know it's not 2,500 years old? How did they figure that one?
We're going to shake hands. That's not our custom.
You just talk.
See, on the socialist, I'm the FBI, I know the thing the two can do is, I mean, I'll reach their own, I don't, like, what you believe in is what you believe in, there's no right or wrong in it.
There is a right or wrong.
There is a right, but morally, you know what you're doing, like, it's kind of, why don't you shake hands?
Well, really, the reason why, I'm going to explain now, I'm going to speak about the whole DNA thing now. Your line goes back to your father. Your lineage goes back to your forefathers. Now, based on the history, right, and based on documentation. Matter of fact, give me the prophecies concerning the children of Israel. Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Well, they went in 12 different directions.
What they do?
One went there, one went there.
That's what I'm proved down. It's also proves that 78, that the Romans, masturbation, that's his face.